What's up, super players? It's your homie C-Rod, and in today's video, I'm gonna give you guys the rundown of the best decks in Dragon Ball Super card game when it comes to winning. These are pretty much going to be the decks that are consistently always making it to the top tables at big tournaments that are, where people go play Dragon Ball Super card game competitively. So these guys are running literally the winning decks. Well, obviously that's what the mindset is when you go join the tournament, and these are the decks that are consistently just topping all around. And I'm gonna get straight to it. The biggest elephant in the room, or the one that everybody obviously knows, is one of the best decks in the format right now in Dragon Ball Super card game. It happens to go to Baby Vegeta. So Baby Vegeta right here, a quick meta breakdown, complimentary of DBS decks. Go check them out. They have a pretty cool, database. But right here we got Baby Vegeta. As you guys can see, it's the starter deck Baby Vegeta, and this Baby Vegeta is pretty darn powerful. He takes a life, he restands himself for an extra attack. That on its own is insane. And then you get 2 energies back to active, draw 2 cards when you awaken, but you do have to be at 2 lives or less. But overall, very powerful starter deck leader, and he has been topped with multiple different players. Let's look at a couple of them so we can see the variety of different cards that they would run. And it's running around a $280 deck, guys. Holy baloney, that's pretty darn expensive. And let's look at what they actually have. So this engine right here, ran by Marcel, that he top 16. We have Super Saiyan 4 secret rare in here. So this guy is running the Super Saiyan 4. We got the heartfelt please. We got the GT. So his is looking like a lot GT based. And all right, that's pretty sick. Now let's look at somebody else's build. Let's look at Justin's build. His is gonna cost, let's see how much his cost. $430. All right, so Marcel's version is the budget version. What does this guy have that makes it so expensive? So I'm not gonna count the side deck. I'm just looking at the straight main deck. So it's looking like he's just running pretty much the same thing without the GT engine. Okay, so he's running topos and things like that, basic baby engine. But the baby deck, for sure, for a fact, is one of the best decks in the format right now. It's winning a lot. You can make it budget, go with the GT route, or you can make it highly expensive and go with the more baby focused version. And either way, baby in general is just a very powerful deck. If you want to win consistently, go with baby. He is a killer for sure. So now let's look at the other deck that's, I feel, more control based, but it's winning a lot as well, and it happens to be Broly right here. We got Broly, the Awakened Threat. This leader right here, this deck right here, is predominantly the same. It's blue, yellow, green, if I'm not mistaken. But Broly, it took nationals. Shout out to Brian Samuel, who took the super players all the way to the championship, and hooked us up with a national belt under our super player brand and name. So subscribe if you are new to the channel, so you guys could get some of that superness in your life. But for real, subscribe. But yeah, we got Broly right here, a very powerful leader. Every time he attacks, you pick up a life, draw a card, self-awakening built in, attacking, pressure, consistent. And when you awaken, restand 2 of your energies. So that's very good, because you'll have a fat hand to actually use the energies to the fullest. And then he just becomes insane awakened. He rests a card on the field that your opponent has on the battlefield. So that's just like that, like rest something, he attacks, still draws, and take a life, restand anything on your side of the field that's a card. That's insane on its own as well. So that usually is enough to go for a game. The leader on his own is freaking insane, and it's topped multiple times. Look, let's look at Tommy, because I know Tommy. His version is probably the most expensive version. I saw his deck profile, and look at that. Holy cow, guys. I knew it was gonna be expensive, but gosh darn it, Tommy, you're running an expensive deck. This deck is $1,030. Dragon Ball Super card games getting up there with other card games when it comes to the price. It almost makes me tear up a little bit. But let's look at what this guy had right here. He had the Android 16s, the Android engine. So his is looking blue-green, not blue-yellow. Oh, never mind. He does have yellow in here, which are the apes. And these apes are like $40. The secret rare is like $200. These Gokus are like $20. These Piccolos assimilated, the one that I think it might get banned or errated or something, is like almost $80 or something like that. These Gokus are the same. Like, this guy's deck is expensive, and that's not even counting his sideboard. But yeah, this right here is a very powerful deck, and it's consistently winning a lot. If you want a consistent winning deck, go with Broly, and the blue, green, yellow is looking like is the winner, and he even has black in there. So he has blue, green, yellow, black in here. But Zeno Button is about to get banned, guys. So since Zeno Button's gotta get banned, these Gokus and these Piccolos will not be, heavily played offensively like they are now, where you can just tap out and feel like you're in the clear. Not anymore, guys. Not anymore. If you do that, you're gonna get wrecked if you tap out, Tapping out is dangerous once Zeno Button gets errated. But for a fact, this deck right here is a winner deck, and it's one of the best. If anything, it might be the bestest, if that's even a word, deck. But yeah, Broly for a fact is a winner deck. It's topped a lot. And let's look at, a little bit more. You want rogue decks, but you ain't trying to go too rogue. We got Beerus right here. For a fact, it's a winner. You drop a card, draw 2. Insane ability right there. Like, what the heck? Just like that. You don't even have to attack. That's his unawakened side. His awakened side, he's pretty alright. It just sucks you don't draw anymore, but he's still very good. He attacks, and you get to activate battle. Pretty much combo with a dual color that's red yellow in your drop zone onto the field, allowing you to arrival and keep that extra pressure. But his highlight is his unawakened side. But yeah, and then he also KOs for 1 red, 1 yellow. He also KOs, which is not bad. It's topped multiple times, so it's topped just as consistently as Beerus, but not as consistent as Baby. But still very, very powerful. And let's just look at somebody's build right here. We got, I didn't check the name of the creator. Steve. It's looking like it's Steve. And it's a $550 deck, guys. Wow, Dragon Ball Super card games getting expensive, but let's look at what he ran. What made it so expensive? So he's running the secret rare. We got Baby Janemba right here, the secret rare. Very amazing card right here. What this card does, it minuses your opponent's leader minus 30,000, and then it still has offering. And if they choose to leave him on field, he's just it's gonna finish the game. Little 5Ks could finish the job. Or they lose to 3 lives. So the secret rare is a very expensive card. We got Topos in here. These cards were $1. I bought mine for $1, and now they're $10. So if you invest right in Dragon Ball Super card game, you'll have, you'll be making money. We got the Beerus, they're $25. These Great Apes Instincts went up in price. They're $30, guys. So it's such a good card. In the drop, you use 2 energies, draw 2 cards. Very amazing ability right here. The pans are pretty good. These Vegetas are like $60 a pop, so those Vegetas are very good. It looks like a pretty generic deck right here, honestly. I don't see anything too special. But it's very simple yet very effective. Beerus for a fact is a winner deck. Do not underestimate the power of the draw 2. So strong. And then let's look at another deck real quick. And we got, the last one I would say that you're gonna see if you go to a tournament, and it happens to be Hatchiyak. I think this might be one of the cheapest decks in the meta right now. And it's a very, annoying leader to play against. I don't know how it is to play it, because I've never actually got my hands to play this deck. Because I feel it's just, it's kind of grindy. I'm not a grindy fan, because if you play at a big tournament, if you're grinding, you're going to hit time. Unless you win your game 1, there's no way you're going to be, 2-0ing people. So yeah, this is you're gonna hit time a lot with this leader, but you know, it's a very powerful, consistent leader. It kills a bunch of decks. What this card does is pretty much your opponent can only attack with battle cards with an energy cost of 7 or less, and then they cannot make any more multiple attacks. So it's pretty much a Flying Nimbus built into the leader, and he becomes a 15k that attacks and gains 5k. So the leader is predominantly doing most of the damage, because you know, he becomes a 20k draw card. You're not gonna deck out because you keep fueling your deck back. And let's look at Russell Stelzer's version of Hatchiyak. It's a $160 deck. So if you want to go to top tables and you want to go budget and you want the best deck that's out there right now, it's $168. It's not too expensive for a meta deck, considering the last Broly deck was $1,000. This is like 10% of that or something. Sorry if my math is completely wrong. Don't butcher me in the comments. But yeah, let's look at the deck. So it's looking like he ran the Kid Gokus to search out his Dragon Balls, and then he ran the Secret Rare Demigra, which is probably the most expensive, which is like not like $70 or something, $60. It's not too bad. And then he ran Hatchiyak, the Super Rare, which is like $4. They're not too expensive, guys. This Super Saiyan 3 Tag Team Son Gohan, though, is expensive. It's like a $20 card on its own. But other than that, everything else is just the generic cards that you get in, you know, booster packs and stuff like that. They're not super rares. The only super rare I see in here is the Hatred and the Trunks Power Overseeing Time. Other than that, everything else looks pretty budget, you know? It's just your generic Ghost Warrior cards, like the Lord Slug that removes. So he has his removal. He has his big play, which is the Hatchiyak that can make multiple attacks to out-pressure your opponent. He has the Demigra in there to you know, the game finisher, 100% guarantee. And it's looking like a pretty good deck. You know, you go with Hatchiyak if you want to go budget and still play one of the best decks. So those are going to be the top best decks at the moment. The other couple road decks we got is Android 21. If you really want to go with an Android 21 deck, it's not bad of a deck right here. It's kind of more expensive. It's the higher end meta deck budget that, you know, like meta deck, it kind of loses now, especially with Xenobutton being gone. We got Milnimba or Janimba that, you know, wins by forcing your opponent to not have any cards in their deck anymore. So Milnimba is still looking like it's still relevant. And obviously Tricolor Control, Broly, and then the surpriser is Golden Frieza, which I actually want to take a quick look at. Golden Frieza, it has been consistently top 16 at these big events, so that's pretty insane in my opinion. And oh shoot, it's pretty expensive. It's $350. But what does it run? It runs, you know, the Brolys from the Magnificent Collection, which all the Magnificent Collection cards I think have been going up in price because they're actually really good. And then he runs your standard Broly Evolve Chain that locks opponent's energy. And honestly, I don't see anything that insane here. It looks like a pretty generic Broly BR Frieza's Army deck, and it's doing well. So if you're a Frieza fan and you want to go take it to, you know, the top tables, oh, that's what makes it expensive. We got Victory Strike in here on the sideboard. So that's what it is. So it's Victory Strike, Frieza Victory Strike. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of the video. Let me know what you guys think about this type of video. Do you guys like this format of video? I kind of tried something else. But yeah, like we always say, leave a comment in the comment section below. Subscribe if you are still watching and you are not a subscribed super player. Hit that subscribe button and grow the super player army there. But you know, hit that subscribe and we'll take we'll take worlds this year, hopefully, crossing my fingers. But yeah, hit that like button as well, and hopefully you guys got well informed, got super informed, and like we always say, y'all stay super.